Hello, and welcome to this part 2 of my thoughts on the Destiny 2 gameplay review. I already uploaded, my little snippet aspects of it, being that I only saw like the tail end of it and saw like a YouTuber's live stream of him reacting to it somewhat. Like the after aspect, he was overlooking it. But I just got done watching the whole of the video of their reveal and everything. But if you want to, if I missed anything here or that I already talked there or whatever, if you want to look at that video first, I'll leave a link in the bio area, whatever. And mostly I've written down a bunch of stuff here on 2 pages, mainly the good stuff and questions aspects. But in the aspects of good, there's no more orbit anymore. You don't have to jump into orbit to go to a planet to do a different mission and whatnot. There's no more orbit. You get to launch whatever activity you want straight on the planet. There's a map now. You get to look at it. It's like you look at the map of the planet itself, area of stuff, then you back out by the looks of it, and then go to like another planet you want to go to or something. And the way you get there is these landing pads. From what I heard of, like landing areas. But my question about that is is there only one landing area per planet, or is there other ones that you can go to, or you'd have to say maybe unlock them, like you have to discover the new landing pads so you can jump to that area, which would be interesting. Yeah, there's maps now. You can see maps, and via the maps, you also, as I said there before, my other one I think of public events are now shown also on the map, and they're shown where they're going to be and when they're going to be, so you can get a bit of heads up so you can get there before it happens or whatnot. That sounds good. I wonder if you can see it also on, like, if you're on one planet, you can see it on another planet, so you can jump from planet to planet and get there. That'd be interesting to see. One thing, it's kind of, I would say matchmaking, but not really. I'm not sure, but there's like a matchmaking for everything now. It's not just of like regular missions or the just regular not Nightfall. What is the other stuff? Whatever, but it's pretty much for everything. But the way it's called is it's guided games to help in clans if they have a person or two missing and they want to do a raid. Now you can look for people via guided games. Help you out that way. Which is good because that was the one thing that sucked about Destiny 1 was the fact that you had to like have everybody in the group before you can launch to this, which you kind of can do at the same. I mean, it's kind of the way it is this way, but instead of having to like message people on like message boards, or you're in the tower and you're like messaging them directly saying, we need somebody for a raid. You want to hook up with us and help us with the raid? It's just you can say, we need somebody for a raid like via this clan, and it's like if you're searching for raid, they're like, if you're a solo player, they're like, these clans, they're looking for somebody with a raid, join them, and stuff like you see the snippets of the clan themselves. But also the thing is, the clans, they have banners. My question is, how customizable are the banners going to be themselves? Because from what I just saw there's like 3 different types, I think, maybe more. But how customizable are the banners going to be is my question about that. I wonder how like RC you can be. But also, like I said, there's like better knowing where the public events are. One thing, as clearly shown, is the Cabal have a different new way of entering areas via those like big balls that are thrown into the ground. They crash. They fade away, or not really fade, whatever it is. If you've seen the thing, but they pretty much like it's a ball and it's like from top to bottom just start disappearing. Now I'm curious is because it also showed like a ball in the regular way they came down, like they just jump out of their drop shits. But my question about that is that there are other races going to be able to do that. I wonder, if like the effects or can do it a different way and whatnot. But we'll see. Now I saw also they have for the weapon mods. I wonder what they're going to be like, and if they're not just they aren't just weapon mods, they're also armor mods. I wonder about that. It was stated also that the level cap will be 20 like it was in Vanilla Destiny 1, And I'm curious though, what is the light level cap going to be in the vanilla aspects of Destiny 2? If there's going to be a cap there, because you'd think there would be some form of a cap. But we'll see. Side quests are better. This, as said before in my other video, you can actually go up to people and they'll give you quests and stuff instead of it just being you go to this little beacon. Oh, I need you to go over here and kill this guy and stuff. No, you actually interact with people there and stuff. It's gonna be interesting. On the Crucibles now, they're only 4v4. Now, my question about Crucible is because a lot of people say it is, and some people like me say it wasn't really balanced in Destiny 1, especially since they probably like over time tweaked it here and there. But I wonder how balanced the Crucible is going to be, because, you know, the variety of different armor and different weapons and different powers, I wonder how balanced it can be. And then it's stated though, like 4v4 is the only amount there will be in the Crucibles. It would never go higher than that, which is interesting. Because again, the whole aspects, the way that Richard Destiny was, which it looks like here in Destiny 2 with the co-op aspects, it's only 3 people. So it seems kind of odd how it's only 4v4. It's like, you're getting all these numbers being mixed up and dropped around. It just seems odd to me. It just... I'm not saying it's a good thing, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just, it's odd. It's odd. You know, you can go on a 3-person co-op mission, but then when you go to the Crucible, you need to add another person in. It's just like all these variety of numbers and aspects on the different things here. It's just always odd because you got 3 on regular missions, probably the same thing with Nightfalls and everything, and you're gonna have 4v4 on the aspects of the Crucible, but then you're gonna have 6 on the raid. It's just like you have this jumble of numbers and everything. It's just always been odd as hell to me. We'll see. We'll see if how it all works together, if it's all good and balanced and everything, not just the aspects of the Crucible itself, but the variety of how many people you need per thing. We'll see. See, they also talk about this thing called treasure maps and what is it? I saw something else. What is that? Damn it. Sectors. That's it. Sectors. Which seem to me like little small dungeons like you would have in World of Warcraft. You can go into these dungeons and stuff, but those were considered raids here. But this seems like a smaller version of it. These sectors, which you have like this loot behind the boss that has the key. So it's curious. Sounds interesting. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just, we'll see. Not much, like I said, treasure maps. Like, I wonder what you get from the treasure maps. It's just okay loot, or you possibly can come across, say, you know, exotic. Oh my god. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see when it all comes out. But yeah, clans look interesting. Clans and the whole guided games. It sounds good. It sounds like they really, as they said, they listen to their fans. Because it did suck about, you know, Nightfall or the raid, how it's non-matchmaking in the original Destiny. But sometimes you didn't have enough to get into those things, so you actually had to take so much time to look for somebody. Oh my god. Thank god this shit is in there. That's good. That is good. They said they're gonna have beta during the summer. I wonder which part of the summer. Like, could it be like next month when E3 hits? Like, oh yeah, and that beta we're talking about, it's out. Go play it. For those who pre-order, you know, because you get early access. But you know, in 2 days, you can all play it. I doubt it. It's probably not gonna be in June. It'll probably be in July. That's my money on when the beta is gonna be. It's gonna be in July sometime. And one thing that did concern me that I thought could be an issue, we'll see how it goes, is the PC version. It will only be available on Battle.net, Blizzard's PC area, which is the only area you can get stuff like, say, anything from Blizzard, which seems odd. You won't be able to have it on Steam, which might be could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Like I said, about a lot of this stuff, we'll see. But could potentially be a bad thing. But Blizzard's Battle.net hasn't had too much of an issues outside of, what was that, Diablo 3? Yeah, outside of that, they haven't really had any issues with the whole thing of aspects of Battle.net and all that, but in the end, we'll see. Now, on to more aspects of questions that they didn't talk, some stuff they didn't talk about, like, will the supers generate over time a little or only from killing enemies? Because originally the way it worked was they did occur just a little bit over time, but it added more per kill. Will that hold over to Destiny 2, or can you only up your super from getting kills? Because some of the way they people strategically had things going before they started a raid, before they started the next section of the raid at least, or just started the raid itself, or part of the Nightfall stuff is they just sit there and wait for their supers to go up. But I'm curious, is that still going to hold over to Destiny 2, or can you only get it via kills? I'm curious, you know. Also, how many supers per race? Will there be just the one as they've shown each race? Or will there be more? Because in the original one there was at least 2. At the end they had 3. Will there be 3 here? Will there be 2? Will there only be 1? Will there be 4 or 5? I want to know. We'll see, man. We'll see. Hopefully, like at the end of the video, if it happens where you restore all the light and everything, you can unlock the previous powers too. I doubt it, but we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. How any new enemy races? Because originally in the races you had the Cabal, the Vex, the Fallen, the Hive, and at some point the Taken, which was a variety of the bunch. But they've usually always added like new enemies that existed of races already in the game. Or are there going to be any new races outside the Cabal, the Vex, the Fallen, the Hive, the Taken? I'm curious about that. And of course the Cabal themselves are, the main enemy in this game this time. So last time it was... I guess it was the Vex. Yeah, the Vex kind of were the... It's hard to say. There was like really no, I guess, real main enemy in that final game. In the last game, there was always like a variety of the enemies, but there was like no main enemy, I guess, outside of... It's hard to really say, but yeah, I think if anything, that main villain was the Vex, because they were the one at the end you had to fight to, beat the final mission. And hopefully they talk more about the story of each race, especially the Cabal, because the Cabal's story I found flaky when it was with Destiny 1, because if you never played it or if you don't remember it, they talked about the Cabal when you first learn of them, of like, they used to blow up planets and moons for just being in their way, which you think, like, if they're that fucking powerful, how do we still exist then? And some people's argument, well, you have the Traveler, he's protecting you, but as you see here in Destiny 2, that really wouldn't be the case, now would it? No. I mean, you think, outside of Earth, because apparently from what they were talking about, they had like an air defense and everything there on Earth. The other areas wouldn't still exist then, because there was nothing really holding those together, because they had so many enemies, even though, as well as Earth had pretty much a good amount of enemies. Oh yeah, one thing I want to talk about here also next, I just saw them, but yeah, hopefully they will touch more on their story, is like they lost such power to be able to do so, such ships don't exist, or something, because they did seem overpowered story-wise, but yet still somewhat weak in this game itself. That really fucking confused me. But hopefully they'll touch up on that stuff, because the story of the Cabal just irked me. How they said, how powerful they were, but yet they didn't show such power until now, at least somewhat, when they're taking, the light from the Guardian and everything. So we'll see. Hopefully they didn't touch up on that, because that irked me. That didn't sit right with me. But yeah, one thing here they talk about that kind of irks me is 4 new worlds. They showed off 4 new worlds. But not really, did they? 3 yes, 4 no. Because what I saw is one of the words they talk about was Earth, which... You kind of shut off there, don't you? That's where the tower is, isn't it? How is it a new world? Yes, there's a new location on Earth you go to, supposedly after the whole fall of the tower, but... It's not really a new world. How is it? No. There are 3 things that they introduced of new places, like Ion and whatever, but not 4 new worlds. No, not really, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to call bullshit on that. Earth really not that new. You kind of had an original one. You kind of did. Let's moving on. One thing that kind of was weird about the first game that I wonder if they're going to touch on or hopefully improve, and that was the jumps in the game. Because there was a variety of jumps. There's, of course, each race had like a certain different third jump. Whereas one was like a teleport, one was a triple jump and whatnot. But I wonder what the jumps are going to be like in this game. I know it's kind of a weird thing to ask what the jumps, but I'm curious about it. Because at one point they showed in the cinematic kind of thing was like like somebody was kind of in a big fall of an area, like there was like a good bit of distance between when they jump up off a platform and when they would land, and they kind of like did a jump where instead of it jumping up, they faltered straight down. So I wonder how that's worked too. Yeah, I wonder how the jumps are going to be, especially per the races. Like, are there going to be that big of a variety? I'm curious. I'm really curious. Also, if there are going to be, jumping platforming aspects to the game, because that was kind of thing about the question of jumping, because some of the variety of jumping between the races was, kind of, some worked better on some platforms than others, Like, that's one thing I liked about the Hunters. Like, I found the best jump in the game. So we'll see, like I said. Hopefully they reveal more of this stuff. Also another question, are there going to be new locations on the old planets, as well as are you going to be able to revisit old location on Destiny 2, like, aspects, like, well, I guess, of course, there are new locations on old planets, because there's a new location on Earth, but, because they only showed off the newer planets, as I keep saying about the Earth shit. But yeah, they showed off like the newer planets that you'll be going to, but I'm curious if they're gonna have the other planets that you've already visited in the first game, but new locations or possibly old locations. I'm curious about that. Another question, I doubt it, but I want to ask: can you equip more than one exotic on this game? Because I wonder, are there going to be like new type of rarity classes? Because originally there was the common, uncommon, I guess rare, and you had legendary, and you had exotic. And exotic, you can only equip one per area. You can only equip one exotic weapon and one exotic armor. I'm curious, is there going to be a thing above exotic, or is it still going to be exotic going to be the top, and you can only equip one per that wagon? I want to know. Also, is there a new race? I wonder, because you had the hunters, you had the other two. Can't remember, sorry. But I wonder, is there going to be a fourth one, possibly? Is there going to be another one? Because that'd be interesting to see, to add more to it. That'd be cool. Also, out of curiosity, because I didn't see them, are miniguns replacing the LMGs? Because that's what originally was in Destiny, was these LMG weapons, the heavy weapon aspects. Because you had a rocket launcher, you had the LMGs, and there was a third one. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I wonder, because that's what they show of, like, the newer weapons. You have miniguns, you have grenade launchers also, but you also have miniguns. Are they replacing LMGs? I'm wondering. Because you never saw any of the LMGs, so hopefully we get more on that in E3. Also, let's see, new class. Well, what was that about new class? I guess that was the new race, Also, are there going to be ship fights? Because that's the one thing that I thought was would like to have in the first one that we didn't have, that hopefully might have the second one, is like fighting for your ships. Are there possibly like the PvEs or the PvP areas? Are you going to be able to fight for your ships? Also, that's what that was. What I saw down there. That was into Lost Sectors, which is I think of the sponsorship. But they showed like this kind of like a soccer goal, and you kind of kick it in, and like you were just having fun in the open world. I wonder if there's going to be soccer that you can do like on PvP. I wonder, like a fun little game to have. No more just shooting, killing people. Because they say there's new modes and new maps on Crucible. I wonder if this is one of the new modes, soccer. You can just have a little fun. You don't have to actually go in Crucibles and kill some people. You can just fuck around and hope to you're going shit. That'd be kind of cool. Also, about the ships, are there going to be more of a variety with the ships, and possibly also those like land vehicles you have? I can't remember what they're called, but are we going to have a more variety of those? Not to mention not just the variety, but the customization. Because that's one thing also people wanted in the first Destiny that we didn't get was customization to our ships and possibly to our land vehicles. Not to mention, would we have fights via our land vehicles too? Do we have weapons on those and stuff? Stuff to think about, man. Stuff to think about, because the kind of weapons on land vehicles of like those that you'd have to steal in like the open world or the certain missions that came out later after the vanilla Destiny. But can we have, ship battles or land vehicle battles? And also, like I said, are we going to have a variety of them? And are we going to have customization? Be able to customize them. So that would be a nice thing to do, be able to customize your ships and your weapons, not to mention have good variety ships. Because the ships in the vanilla game were okay, they weren't always that cool. And not to mention, I would like to see a more use for them. Like I said, battles. I'd like to have air battles. That'd be nice. What else? I call it the Dingobot, but pretty much that cube thing, whatever it's called. What is the voice going to be? Is it going to be the same voice as they had originally via the change off of the I can't remember, but we all called him Dingobot, the dude from Game of Thrones. He voiced the original aspects of it, but then they felt he was not good enough, so they changed it. Are they going to have the voice from the guy who was changed to? Or we have a new voice? And how usable is he going to be this round? Because a lot of the aspects of the original game, he was, very good, a person that would inform you of a bunch of stuff. He was like a little side partner that talked to you about things and whatnot. How much of a role is he going to play in Destiny 2? Because he's still going to be there from the things, as they've shown, that he brings you back to life and everything. How much of a role will he play in Destiny 2 over the aspects of how much he played in Destiny 1 with everything? Hub areas. Now, this means two things. One, how the social areas, pretty much like how the social areas are going to be. How big are they going to be? How many are there going to be? Because the three main class people split up to different areas. So how big are the areas going to be that you visit? How safe are they going to be from the enemy? How many are there going to be? Because at the end, there was a lot of hub areas to go to. Because you didn't just have the tower, you had the Queen's area to go to. And what else? There was a third one, I think, but whatever. But yeah, how many hub areas I think are there? Be more areas of social areas to go to meet new people, or are they, how big are they going to be? I'm curious. Ammo. How is the ammo it's going to work in this game? Because it's been stated in my previous video, if you don't know, the weapons aren't split up into, your main, your secondary, and your heavy. Now, they're kinetic weapons, they're energy weapons, and they're your special weapons, I guess was the original one or whatever, but your heavy weapons kind of area, Because from what I saw, heavy weapons are going to contain, of course, the rocket launchers and your possibly fusion rifles and sniper rifles, and of course your miniguns / LMGs. But how is the ammo itself going to work? I wonder. How is it going to look? Because at some point you saw, like in the game, he killed somebody in a purple cube drop that was pretty much, I guess, originally at least, heavy. So we'll see about that. How ammo is all going to work, and if you're going to be able to, store ammo. You could buy ammo with the main currency and store it up. Also, I wonder how much time it is going to be between uses, because that's also the other thing that was kind of annoying. Hopefully they fix that shit too, because if you use one cache of ammo, like your regular ammo, you couldn't use any caches from the other ammos for a time being. That's another question. How are they going to do that? Because hopefully they split it up this time, because that was annoying and stupid as shit. That you can only get back the one ammo. You can only use the one ammo. It'd be cool if you can use all three aspects of ammo for when you need it. Not okay, I'm going to use heavy now, but that means I can't use any of my shit for the next 20 minutes. That was annoying, so hopefully they fix that shit and balance out a bit better. But ammo, I wonder how rare it's going to be and dropping aspects of which type of ammo. What would be cool is if, you're full on ammo for that weapon and it gets dropped, it gets stored into a certain area and it amount to a point in which then it gives you a cache to use, which would be nice. So that way you didn't have ammo left over just sitting around that you didn't need or whatnot. Dude, it would be so much better if they had something like that, That'd be nice. But yeah, that's pretty much it. My thoughts and my questions about this game, and hopefully get more answers at E3. If you have any questions that you thought should be asked, or any comments of what I've thought about it or asked, please leave them in the comment section below. But hopefully we will find so much more at E3 and have a lot more of these questions answered if possible, you know. But I thank you for watching. I hope you were informed, and I hope you were entertained, and I hope you have a rock'em sock'em day. Peace.